lesbian? Thank you. That is not how my mom responded. It's not my whole personality. I'm also a vegetarian. But I don't really like the word lesbian. I think it kind of sounds like a prescription drug. And not one the doctors will just hand out like Viagra. But when they have to try really hard to sell on TV, they just have pictures of women smiling next to U-Hauls. The voiceovers like, side effects may include liking Chapel Roan, being told you're gonna burn in hell, and never being able to wear long nails. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. My mom, she never talked to me about sex. She just kind of crossed her fingers and hoped I got the gist from Euphoria. And I did. It was very informative. But that's okay, because I don't really want my straight mom to teach me about eating pussy. Like, what's she gonna do? Get out some Barbie dolls and just start scissoring them? Like, this is what women want. Like, I don't want that. But she did make sure I never got laid by teaching me about things like musical theater. And Jesus Christ. And now I'm going to talk about God. So I'm not very religious, which you can probably tell from that last joke, but growing up, I loved Jesus. Like, prayed for him to come back so I could be his disciple. Just like, dear Lord, I would never betray you like Judas did. But I don't think I actually cared about God. Your girl just wanted somebody to talk to. Scratch that. I wanted somebody to validate my bad actions so I didn't have to suffer any of the consequences. I'd be like, dear Lord, I'm sorry I called that girl a bitch. Praise God, I'm forgiven. And then go call her a cunt the next day. But as someone who grew up religious, people always talk about God's plan and how everything's predetermined by God. And I just gotta say, if everything's predetermined by God, then he's a little bit of a freak. Like, did you know the part of your brain that controls the sensations in your feet is right next to the part of the brain that controls the sensations in your privates? Just trust me on that. I've watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy. But yeah, God's a kinky guy. He's like, lust is a sin. For you. He said, you get a foot fetish, you get a foot fetish, just like the Oprah of foot fetishes. And that's why I'm obsessed with feet. Okay guys, that was a joke. I need you guys to know that was a joke. You don't kink shame, right? You can probably tell from my general vibe, but I have autism. I don't like getting tied up. I got diagnosed with autism as an adult, which is like kind of embarrassing because I really went through middle school like, wow, my period's making me really weird. But I don't know how no one noticed because growing up, I was really into the history of maritime. Which is only a body of water away from really liking trains. But right now I work as a registered behavior technician for kids with autism, which is a fancy title that basically means I make sure a kid doesn't choke on a marble. Which is like surprisingly difficult. There have been a few close calls. But because I also have autism, I just feel like a double agent. Just like waiting to be activated by my shared love of Legos. Another thing about me, I'm on a mood stabilizer. Yep, fellow gang here. And let me tell you, that shit works. I feel like a witch every time I take it, just like, bipolar, be gone. But before I tried that, I tried a bunch of antidepressants. Not all at once, but I did try them. And trying antidepressants is kind of like testing out hobbies. Like, oh, soccer made me an anxious bitch. Should probably quit that one. Oh, band didn't want to die. Should probably quit that. And then you'll finally find one that works and be like, wait, is this how mentally well people feel? Just like irrationally angry. Like, does God hate me? And I'm gay, so the answer is yes. And then you go to work. I work at a very social job, so I don't really like it. Because despite the fact that I'm up here forcing you guys to listen to me speak, I'm an introvert. that needs external validation from other people, which means teachers always said I was a joy to have in class. That wasn't really a joke, I just wanted you to know. But as an introvert, people are always like saying things to you that they would never say to extroverts. Like imagine if someone talked to an extrovert how they talk to introverts. Just like, wow, we couldn't forget you were here. You should really go back into your shell. They always treat introverts like a puppy hiding behind its own leg. Like, oh, she's so cute, what a good girl. Oh, was she abused as a kid? Does she bite? And the answer is yes. Okay, that kind of made me sound like a menace, but speaking of being a menace to society, I rented a U-Haul recently, and it's crazy to me that they just hand those out. Like, you know how to drive a Prius? Here's your 25-foot truck. Good luck. I have never been more afraid for someone else's life than when I tried to rent a